It's the 28th of January 2020, and in this little documentary of uploads about being a victim of hate crime and human rights violations, I've been clearly stipulating um, the factors of each wrongdoing that has been involved. Um, just to recap, there's been medical negligence on 4 occasions. There's been legal violations. There's been marital desertion. There's been financial theft, abuse, and exploitation. There's been defamation of my character, reputation, and good name. There's been an obstruction of justice. There has been assault and harassment. And there has been breaches of confidentiality, and there has been the intrusion of professionals that have no reason to be involved in my circumstances. So there has also been the issue of violations with regard to spirituality and faith, and there's also been the issue of not only violations of privacy, but information being withheld and information that is false being relayed. I have contacted, as I've said, all the relevant ombudsmen, and I have sought the assistance that I'm entitled to. There has been no acknowledgement due to the individuals going to great expense to prevent the rights that I'm entitled to being respected. As I've said, people have gone to great expense and trouble to cause this trouble for me. And as a citizen, adult citizen, fully capable and competent and within my rights to assert my rights and to assert my safety and my rights to safety within a community, the issue of attaining the protection that I'm entitled to has a huge factor to play in this matter, due to the culprits going to the expense that they're going to cause trouble for an innocent woman. This entire situation has caused very serious disruption. There have been new individuals new to this county that have intruded and caused very serious issues that obviously don't understand the consequence to the issues that they're causing. Basically, the shocking perspective that I've ascertained from all of this is that intelligent individuals don't seem to comprehend how serious what has happened already is. There doesn't seem to be any level of remorse or shame about what has been caused. There doesn't seem to be any amends forthcoming either. As for authorities and politicians that are obligated by EU law to provide a mother and professional adult citizen victim of hate crime and constitutional wrongdoings with the protection in society that I'm automatically entitled to, is a serious matter for them to address. As a law-abiding citizen and as a victim of these people who are causing these problems in this community and that have defamed my character and that have said the most outrageous lies about me, are very dangerous things to be happening in a respectable community like Tralee. As I've said, there was this vendetta of hate crime, but with regard to issues of medical negligence and legal violations and the disrespect of my rights and entitlements, this matter has raised other more serious concerns, especially surrounding the issues of faith and hereditary. As I've said, the issue of people trespassing and violating privacy is very, very worrying. I've had several incidents of inviolability of my dwellings. None of this has been addressed by the Ombudsman. This upload is for the attention of the authorities and the politicians to understand how serious it has been as a victim of hate crime and the wrongdoings that have occurred. For a law-abiding citizen and for a mother and deserted wife and an educator, professional, fully qualified and skilled, and that has contributed extremely positively to not only just my community, but to the community and fellowship of recovery also. I'm wondering how authorities and politicians are ignoring this matter that's been caused for me in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland. The ignorance, that's the only way I can describe this, of individuals imposing and being intrusive and assuming and asserting opinions and falsehoods and causing very serious damage to any human being is a blatant disrespect of the Human Rights Declaration. Not only just the Human Rights Declaration, but the Constitution of Ireland also. As a peace campaigner that has worked in recovery and that has, volunteered in education and fundraising for people in countries like Africa and wherever else, it's very insulting to think that there are individuals that think they can buy their way into a position or situation that is impossible. The fundamental human rights of every human being, when disrespected, incurs a very heavy burden, not only by the culprits, but by the community and by the authorities and politicians that fail to rectify and amend and right the wrongs that are being perpetrated. For a woman that has worked for what has been achieved, to have in the past 2 years experienced the losses that I've experienced due to this collective vendetta is very insulting. As I've said, as a fully qualified professional, fully skilled, respectful of others, and that has been violated so shamelessly by individuals that have no concern for the consequences, is a huge factor for authorities and politicians to address in modern day society. This upload is also for the attention of those that are doing this. I'd just like to say to the people pulling the strings and perpetrating this vendetta and that have perpetrated wrongdoings and offences against me and mine, that basically what they're doing is very dangerous. It's not only dangerous to be you know, causing harm to an innocent woman and family, but also the issue of how it affects their futures also. The cost of injustice in any situation is is a heavy toll for any individual or collective group of people to carry from here on and into the future. Um, the issues that they have caused so far are so damaging and dangerous that I'm surprised that authorities and politicians have refused to acknowledge what needs to be addressed. I'm also surprised that there's such a lack of respect for the rights and entitlements of a law-abiding citizen. I'm very surprised that defamation is being facilitated. I'm very surprised about the violations with regards to my legal rights. That, you know, a blatant act of disrespect in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland. Hate crime is what this is, and there are people in this community that haven't even met me, don't know me, claim to have knowledge of me, claim to know about my private life, personal life, past and whatnot, and have caused very serious damage. This is what hate crime is, and the wrongdoings involved automatically entitle me to the protection in society as an adult and as a victim of their offences. There are some things that can't be bought, and the Human Rights Declaration isn't for sale, and human beings' rights are not at ever any stage ever to be jeopardised to serve an ill agenda or purpose of individuals in civil society that have already caused very serious offences but have also intentions to cause even further offences. As I've stated, the Ombudsman and the authorities and the politicians have been prevented from contacting me or have refused to contact me. I have not been consulted about matters that I should be consulted about, and as well as that, my rights, entitlements, and my safety has been endangered and threatened by those considering this woman as expendable, disposable, insignificant, etc. So, for those in Europe, in the United Nations that I've been contacting since 2017, I hope you understand what is happening, and I hope you understand how my legal rights and entitlements, my human rights, etc., have all been threatened and endangered and disrespected by culprits of hate crime and constitutional wrongdoings. This means that local authorities that are aware of these circumstances that have involved disrespect of spirituality and faith as well as hereditary, etc., 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 that there shouldn't be any issue about my role or position as a mother, victim, humanitarian, peace campaigner, etc., 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 ever being disrespected. Those making false claims, I'm aware of the individuals that have made the false claims about me. I'm aware of the individuals that are defaming my character, and I'm aware of the issues that they have already perpetrated in the past 2 years. So this situation that has been occurring since I became a mother is very, very serious for this county and country. That the authorities aren't addressing this and prioritising the victims' um, circumstances doesn't send out a very good message to other women in society that could be experiencing similar circumstances. So, this woman would like to let every politician, female and male, in Dáil know of the seriousness of what has occurred against an innocent woman and mother and teacher and deserted wife. There has been innocence disrespected. There has been innocence damaged. There has been innocence harmed and endangered. And instead of confronting the wrongdoings and correcting the damage and harm that has been caused, and instead of compensating for the injuries that have occurred, not only physical injuries, but good name, reputation, etc., etc., the possibility or potential as a victim and as a citizen that has reported these wrongdoings, um, you know, it's all very serious. So I hope that Dáil, with the upcoming election, would consider addressing the damages done to an innocent woman by people that have been causing very serious issues that the ombudsman are already aware of. And as regards my protection in society that I'm entitled to from these people that have caused these problems and offences and wrongdoings, I'd appreciate it if transparency would contact me, because it's been 2 years now since I've tried to get, you know, this rectified, and it's 2020 now. So the authorities, especially, um, you know, it's very, very worrying when authorities aren't prioritising the safety of citizens and victims of assault, sexual assault, and etc., etc., etc. So that's my upload for today. I hope everyone understands how serious a matter has been caused against innocence, and hopefully there might be a shred of integrity and conscience of, you know, a conscience basically about how to actually rectify this problem rather than trying to make a really bad problem already more worse than it already is, because my losses have been quite immense, and I expect compensation from the state for the damages and harm that have been done to me as a mother and as a law-abiding citizen. So this is for the attention of the culprits causing these problems that I am aware of, and this is also for the attention of the new inhabitants or newcomers to this county, and this is for the knowledge of the politicians that, especially with regard to the spiritual violence, etc., 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 this woman is entitled to have her rights respected just like any other person.